Artificial intelligence, AI, is transforming genealogy, creating new possibilities for discovering and preserving family history. In this video, let's explore the rise of AI in genealogy education, highlight the platforms genealogists are using, and address the challenges that we face with this evolving technology. Howdy, welcome to Family History Fanatics. If you're new here, my name is Devin Noel Lee, and I love helping people find meaning and connection through their family trees. So let's not delay and let's get into today's topic. In 2023, Thomas McKenty observed the infancy state of AI when he was discussing education with Andy.
I have not seen any webinars, any lectures as of yet. I really think the topic is very new. I remember when I did one of the first webinars on wearables and QR codes in genealogy. It takes a while. Right now, there's a lot of chatter out on Facebook, within Facebook genealogy groups. I'm now on Threads. It's on Twitter. We're talking about the impact of artificial intelligence. I think part of the problem about holding a class is, as I said to you when we started, we're still in the first wave. And what I mean by that is if the listeners and viewers remember, we used to use Netscape when the internet started. And now what is the predominant, search engine? Google. It used to be MySpace instead of Facebook. So there's this theory that it's always the second iteration of something that really takes hold. So I think it's a little bit too soon.
Back in the day, I studied marketing at Texas A&M University. One principle that I learned about describes how new technologies are embraced, progressing through the life cycle of adoption, innovators, and so forth. I can't speak to who the AI and genealogy innovators are, but the early adopters of AI supporting genealogical research began telling us of the potential long before mainstream attention. In 2020, Lisa Louise Cook had a video that she released about the impact of artificial intelligence on genealogy. That's 4 years ago, or 5 now. In May 2022, 2 years later, genealogist Jared Ross talked about the future of genealogy and its impact with DNA and artificial intelligence. He also talked about facial recognition aspect of AI technology. He, like me, loves photos, and hopefully one day unidentified photos can be identified, but I really liked what he talked about for the Civil War Photo Sleuth project. And if you missed that video, be sure to check it out. The link will be in the description below. At RootsTech 2023, interest in AI uses in genealogical research was increasing, which reminded me of the rise of DNA testing not that long ago. Anyone including AI in their classes was definitely well received, and here are 2 videos you can still watch from those days. One is by Stephen Little, and one is by yours truly. Following the conference, many genealogy educators and companies expanded their training of AI, and here are a few highlights. Amy Cross had a video about a new way to share family stories using AI. Amy Johnson Crow released a video saying you can use ChatGPT for genealogy with accuracy because there was a lot of misinformation, or not necessarily intentional misinformation, just confusion because we are in this early adopter phase of genealogy with AI technology and the modern massive crowds trying to embrace it and learn it. And finally, the BYU Family History Library also released a video about what the future holds with AI and genealogy research. Now, for a more extensive list of what was released in 2023, be sure to check out my blog post at familyhistoryfanatics.com. There will be a link to that post in the description box. As genealogists started watching this content, they began discussing and playing with the available language models and other tools on the major genealogy platforms. And I saw excitement grow, and also so did misunderstanding. This is indicative of the early majority phase of technology adoption. One of the challenges of the early majority is the confusion that can enter into the field.
And this is where I think when we say artificial intelligence, it's total misnomer.
Right.
Because this isn't intelligence, this is information processing.
In a way, yes.
AI might be able to tell me that, hey, you should contact this person over here who's been doing research.
Right.
because we both happen to have these hits on the same information.
Right.
But the platform itself, I'm not gonna be using the AI to contact them.
No.
I'm gonna go to my email or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is. Intelligence would mean that it could think for itself. And that was brought up in the 60 Minutes piece as well. The whole dangerous thing, the whole Terminator thing, where the machines take over. And I think that's also part of the bias against AI that we're seeing in the media. People really don't understand it. I think it comes down to people, and even genealogy, we've been using AI, but we didn't know it.
In short, we as genealogists have been using artificial intelligence without realizing it. So now the real task is understanding the strengths and limitations of AI as it pertains to genealogical research. An example of not truly understanding the capabilities of the AI was the video I made on how ChatGPT failed to help me write family histories. But I did learn what it could do to help me write family histories. I'll link to that video. It's over on my sister channel, Write Your Family History. In that video, I tried to leverage what I had learned from the innovators and early adopters and how things really didn't go that well. That is indicative of the rise of the technology as people are trying to play around with the tool and see if they can have similar success as they apply the tool to their own field. Since making that video, I've started incorporating ChatGPT in my family history writing channels where I take a viewer's document and then I turn it into a draft. I leverage ChatGPT in several ways, so you'll want to check out the channel and the challenges. I also played with Kindex to transcribe my old journals. It is fantastic and I love it. If you missed that video, be sure to check the link in the description box. While some may say that no one should make a video about artificial intelligence when they don't know what they're talking about, but that is not indicative of the early adopter phase. The early adopters play with tools. They get it right, they get it wrong, but they're trying to bring things forward. So the real thing that we need to pay attention to is we're starting to get to the early majority phase, where some best practices and some standard uses are starting to be adopted by a large portion of the genealogy community. And that's where we're going to really start honing in on how to leverage these tools. We're still on that borderline between early adopter or early majority. So if you do see a creator saying, hey, I tried this and it works, and you go and try it and it doesn't work, well, go play around and see if you can make it work, or start a discussion to see if you can make it better. You're also going to see a lot of people trying to do the tools to do the tasks we really want. I've seen a number of people playing around with tools to try to make DNA matching technology even better. I can't wait to see what comes along. But people are trying their family tree and data and seeing if it works, and then they're trying to apply it to others. So there's still innovation in this phase. Let's be patient and work together as we're all learning. Now, I want to go back to 2024. I noticed that Roots Tech 2024 had AI nearly permeating almost every session. Family Search showcased how they are incorporating AI into the family history experience on their platform. MyHeritage offered a cool session on the MyHeritage AI tools. Highly recommend that. I believe Ancestry did the same. There was one interesting session. It was by Andre Kearns. He highlighted an experimental AI search for tracing enslaved ancestors. You'll find a link to that in that blog post that I mentioned. But there are warnings, and there's a session I highly recommend us all begin discussing if we haven't already, and that was Thomas McKentay's session on AI and genealogy. There's trouble ahead. Again, that's indicative of the phase of technology adoption we're in. Sorry to beat around the bush. It's just that marketing nerd coming out of me. The remainder of 2024 saw a surge in genealogy education with blogs, conferences, YouTube channels, offering diverse content on a variety of AI tools and techniques with those tools. The growing interest indicates we're maturing in this technology adoption. To see the list of the content that was released in 2024, again, I'll direct you to that blog post. Now, with all the education available, and even though I was taking my own break and now I'm coming in and feeling a little overwhelmed, I have wondered what platforms genealogists are using to build their family trees and capture their legacy. The following list highlights some of the tools that people are using. If I've missed any, let me know. If you have a favorite, let me know as well. Now, as I hinted at earlier, thanks to Thomas McKenty, we have been using AI technology without even knowing it, thanks to genealogy websites implementing the AI in. But they are releasing even more tools and making this technology come to our knowledge. So what has been the cool tools that you've seen on Find My Past, Family Search, Ancestry, or My Heritage? Now, I really have enjoyed the increase in AI writing tools, ChatGPT, OpenAI, Claude, Storied Assist. I need to play with My Heritage biography, but there's also writing tools within Google Docs, as well as my favorite grammar checker called Grammarly. There are a number of transcription tools. There's Transcribus. There's Kindex. I know there's more out there. Let me know which ones you've played around with. There are also translation tools, not exactly the same as transcription tools, and people are playing around because not every transcription tool has the capability to translate the language that you're trying to handle. Let me know where you're at with your translation tools and what success you're having. And of course, we need to be careful because there's AI image tools. Now, I will be honest, this AI tool, when it comes to facial recognition, has been part of Photoshop products by Adobe for a very, very long time, probably 10 years or more, where you start tagging people and you're training Photoshop to recognize the people that you tag in the photos. And what's also interesting, having used this platform for so long, it can age up with my kiddos. So it starts recognizing, oh, Cinco or Quattro, this is them when they're little and this is them when they're teenagers. Pretty impressive technology. But there are AI tools that can help creating something out of thin air. Please be very, very careful that you don't do anything that would harm the genealogy community with these tools. Overall, many of these platforms simplify tasks, again, like transcriptions, translations, content creation, writing a first draft, and allowing genealogists to focus on interpreting data rather than merely processing it. I do want to know what platforms you're playing with and what successes or challenges you're having. Perhaps we can touch on some of these tools in future videos. As I wrap up this video, I'm reminded of the conversation Andy and Thomas had a few years back about the challenges we face as we try to leverage AI tools to make our lives easier as genealogists. In the conversation with Andy, Thomas highlighted a few key issues. AI can generate plausible but incorrect data. There was a court case where ChatGPT invented legal cases, leading to sanctions by those lawyers. So we got to be careful that things can be invented. So we, as genealogists, should always investigate and validate. AI users must understand the limitations and refine their prompts to avoid inaccuracies. So I suspect 2025 will offer even more training and tools to help us learn how to implement AI into our tree building and preservation efforts. I'm particularly excited about a new YouTube channel called Family History on the AI Fast Track. I'll share a link to that channel if you haven't discovered it already. So far, I'm really learning a lot. I also noticed that Legacy Tree Webinars has introduced an AI series for members only, and I don't know the full details in order to tell you whether it's great or not, but it sounds really exciting, and I wish them all the best. In the coming years, we will likely use more tools that leverage this technology without our knowledge. And in another case, we will intentionally utilize various AI platforms. We'll make mistakes, but hopefully we'll collaborate to learn together. I'm looking forward to exploring more tools and sharing what I learn along the way. And again, let me know what you're learning, your concerns, or what topics I should cover in future videos. In this segment of viewer comments comes from the video, How Fear and Bullying Are Silencing Genealogists and How to Make It Stop. So this is from Susan Dougherty, and she said, I find your content to be among the best genealogy education sources on YouTube. It has helped me so much, including your confession about research logs. I'm nothing but authentic here on the channel. I came to realize that my research log must be census timelines with lots of notes built in Google Sheets. Other formats just create frustration and angst. The census tool you have created are invaluable to me. Your writing advice has been spot on, and the DNA videos are wonderful, clear to the point, and easy to follow. I know that creating this content has taken enormous out of you of very hard work, and I do appreciate all of it. I have been so amazed by all the comments that have been left on that video. I want to encourage you to remember to bless, not curse, and recognize, I need to say this, I'm not so worried about trolls, okay? Many of you had said, hey, don't be discouraged by trolls. I'm not worried about trolls. I am concerned about the behavior of company leaders and genealogy industry influencers, educators, program coordinators. We're talking about the leaders in the industry and how they are contributing to a toxic environment. I'm not going to name them. Several of you have wanted me to name them. I will not do that. However, I just beg all of us, support the people who are putting good into the genealogy community and walk away from those who are not. It's not canceling. It is just spending your time appropriately. Keep the comments coming on all of the videos. You guys are the best. Go check out this valuable research tip right up here.